to the Nexus. Today we're going to be talking about the new Star Trek figures, this time from Nacelle. Okay, so we are going to be talking in this video on what I think about the new Star Trek license that Nacelle has just got. The infamous Star Trek figures. Now, the reason I talk like that is we've been here before. In fact, quite a few times. Over the last couple of years, there's been an insurgent for Star Trek, and we've wanting products, we've wanting action figures, and they just haven't delivered. We've had Playmates and Super 7, to name a few, which once again have all failed. Now, I don't know whether that's down onto us or whether it's not for me, because I ended up collecting all of them. But what makes it very annoying is we're left with half of stuff again. I remembered back in 2009 when Playmates released the smaller 375-inch figures, and they stopped as well halfway through. And we've been here before, and are we going to be here again? Now, Nacelle is a sort of fairly new company. They used to do the sort of documentaries for Netflix called Toys about Toys, and if you haven't seen those documentaries, check them out. They're really, really good. But they've done the Biker Mice from Mars figures. They look really good. They've got the Expanse figures as well. And now they've bought the Star Trek license. Now, there's a few things you need to know about this this license. Once again, they're going for 6 to 7 inches in height for the figures. So if you wanted them the same height as the Art Asylum figures or Diamond Select, whatever one you want to say about, they won't be. If you want them to be in scale with the Playmates figures, they won't be. So at this point, we've had 4 or 5 different scales from 4 or 5 different companies. All of them have done one at some point or another. Now, I really want to stay positive, but because of the because of what's happened previously, it's a little hard to sort of get your mouth round and to really get into this. And the figures that they've come out with, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll get into all of that. Now, they will be producing... they've only got the license for everything from the original Star Trek series right up till Star Trek Enterprise, and then they've got all the original films as well, from the motion picture up to Star Trek Nemesis, which means we won't be getting any Star Trek Discovery figures, which some people might find good, but you know, I think we should get them. But they won't be getting any Discovery figures, any Section 31, any Star Trek Picard, any Star Trek Lower Decks, and any Strange New Worlds as well. Now, that was brought up at Comic-Con, and they sort of said they tried to get it. Now, this tells me that someone else has already got the license to produce those figures, even for Star Trek Prodigy. But who is the question? Now, why was Paramount willing to give them the older stuff but not the newer stuff? We don't know. Maybe something will come out. Maybe Playmates will come back into the game again. We don't know. But they said they did try to acquire the license for, you know, Voyage, for Discovery and Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, but they couldn't. They did say that they may be able to in the future. But at the moment, we've got this whole broad band of figures that we want to wow. Now, personally, I want the main cast crew first. I think that should be like their go-to, right? We need a full set of crew from each of the series. That's what we want. But Nacelle, I need to get it right, not Mattel, but Nacelle, as in Star Trek Nacelle. They've got, oh no, we don't want things like that. Well, I do, and I think it's wrong that they're not going to. Anyway, they are going to do figures of, well, I'll go through it, but some random figures from And each figure they're going to do is going to be based on an episode, and they're not going to reproduce that figure ever again, if you know what I mean. And we'll go on to all of that anyway. So they have announced the first 8 figures that they got coming out. They are said that they're looking to get in production for very early next year, sort of Q1, Q2 next year. So that's good. They're looking at the same scale as the Star Wars Black Series figures and the same price point, which is, I think it's about £30, £29 over here, about £28, around that sort of pricing. Once again, I think that's good for the size of what you're getting. But are they going to be producing anything that we want is the answer. So the first figure number 1, is Captain Jellicoe. Now, I sort of want that. And when we go through the list, you'll be like, who, what? Out of these 8 figures, there's only a few I really want, right? So anyway, Captain Jellicoe is the first one. I may pick that one up, actually. I will definitely pick that up. Then we've got Peter Petterson. Now, if you don't know who that Peter Petterson is, he died. I think it was in the Search for Spock or the Wrath of Khan. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I should really check that out. It's the Wrath of Khan. So he's the guy that died in the Wrath of Khan. He's the one that I think Scotty brings to the bridge, all burnt. Yeah. Velkis, I think that's her name. I think she's the female Klingon from the Search of Spock. I know she's not. She's Vulcan, I should say. From the Search of Spock. Once again, yeah. Then we've got Captain Garrett, obviously. Rachel Garrett from the Enterprise C, the Captain of the Enterprise C from the Next Generation episode, yesterday's Enterprise. Once again, she wasn't on screen very long. I don't know if I'm picked that one up. I definitely won't be picking up the last 3 that I said. Captain Jellicoe, I might. Garrett, I might. I don't know. The next one is Tuvix. Once again, a character that was in one episode. It's really strange. So they said they don't want to do the same thing that Playmates did, and they want to offer us these figures. So Playmates used to offer these one-off figures, like we had Paris Salamander, Tom Paris Salamander. We also had like a Swarm figure from a Voyager episode as well, and then we had like a generic Ferengi figure, and they didn't sell. I don't know why. Look. Anyway. The next is Tuvix. Yeah. No for me, I'm afraid. I know for a lot of people that might be one that they get. Then we've got Mirror Archer. So that is from the Donkey Mirror Universe Archer. And I think we're going to get him in the sort of goldy green colour uniform that we saw towards the end of the first part of that episode. Then we've got Wayoon. Yeah, I'll get Wayoon. Yeah. And the number 8 is Captain Sulu. When he was on the Excelsior. So I don't know which one they're going to go for. They're going to go for the Undiscovered Country or Star Trek Voyager, because he was on both of those ones as that. The figures look really good. They haven't announced. They will come with accessories, but they haven't announced what sort of accessories they're going to get. We don't even know what the boxes are going to get. Some people said they would like the blister packs, but I reckon we're probably going to get them in some sort of box. They're looking at distribution to every major US toy place, so where you can ever pick up any toys at the moment. I think that's Target, Walmart, all that sort of places. So that's where they're looking for. For the UK, we don't know. And what happened with Playmates, I think places like Smith's Toys and The Entertainer probably won't carry them because of what happened previously with the other figures. I may be wrong. But I think they could be jittery on picking them up, which leaves the toy specialists, which means the retail price of 30 quid could get bumped up. Now, I'll be willing to pay £35 probably for these, but to put 40 down or even 50 for these figures, they're going to have to be really special. If they're the £30 mark, then yeah, I will pick up Garrett. I will pick up Captain Sulu and Wayoon as well, and obviously Jellicoe. But there's, out of those 8 figures, that is it. Now I think it's personally. Now they said they are gonna. I don't know. They've been really on the fence about offering us full crews, right? But that's what I want, and I think that's what most people want. I hope they do that. They sort of offer, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise crew down the line. But what they've already announced, I don't think we're going to, and I think that's a mistake. Personally, I think that's a real mistake. But the only thing I really can say is we've been here before, and it didn't go very well. But I'm all confident for this. Now, they were asked about, have they got license to produce Star Trek, the ships like Playmates did? And they said, no, we haven't. They were also asked at Comic-Con whether they can do the sort of props play stuff, which once again Playmates did or do. Once again, they said no. And then the inevitable question came up about them doing play sets, so like a shuttle or a bridge or anything like that. And they said no, there's nothing in the pipe for it, but that could change. And obviously this is the first wave of figures. It might be the last, because we've been here before, right? We've been here before. I want this to be successful, but I want to be able to have, you know what I mean? It doesn't give it the wow factor. When they announced all these figures, I didn't go, oh my God, I didn't lose my mind. I didn't lose any, I wasn't like that. It was just, yeah, I did that face. It was like, really? Okay. Where I think if you want to grab people's attention, you need to get that wow factor, and none of those figures wowed it for me, I'm afraid. Wayoon was probably the only one I went, oh, that's 100%. I'm definitely getting Wayoon. But the other ones, I mean, you talk about Captain Garrett and Peter Petterson. They were only on screen for a few minutes. Playmates did the same thing, and they fell in that hole of producing figures that weren't on screen very long, or episode Pacific characters that didn't do very well. I suppose time will tell. Time will tell. It should have really been a wow factor. It should have been like, I'm definitely, whatever the price, I'm getting all 8 figures. It just wasn't. Let me know what you think in the comments, because it keeps coming back round to that we've been here before, and I don't want to get my hopes up too much. In the second wave, look, if they do Chief O'Brien in the DS9 uniform or even TNG uniform, and they offer us like Dax or 7 of 9 or Kess, or Torres or Hoshi, or what I mean, just something like that, I'll be all over it. But we're getting a load of characters from random episodes. It is what it is. They look good. Now, we've seen the prototypes. They look good. It'd be interesting to see how they turn out. We've seen many prototypes before, and then when they do get released, we're a bit like, the face sculpts look good. The uniforms look absolutely wonderful. Now they've, if they can get the head sculpts right and they can get the uniforms right, now it's just getting the figures right, the characters right. It's just getting the right ones. And I know we've had millions of, Picard and Data and Riker, but that's what people want. That's why they keep buying them. And if you're not going to offer them, I think that's a little bit disappointing. But I think straight out the gate, it's promising, but not wow. And it needs to be wow. And I hope it is. I hope lots of people pick it up. And I hope it's successful so we can carry on. But like I said, it keeps coming back. We've been here before. So anyway, thank you for letting me rabble on and listening to me. Let us know in the comments what you think. I've been a Nexus. Check out all my other channel videos. I do lots of Star Trek stuff, lots of builds. There might be something on the channel that you like. And if there is, give it a subscribe. Also, please give the channel a thumbs up. And we will see you at the next video. But until then, we'll see you later.